Crocodile Dundee is a beloved classic filled with unforgettable characters and a cast that oozed charm. But as the years passed, we had to bid farewell to some of the talented stars who brought those iconic roles to life. Their captivating performances were key to the film's success, yet the reality of their personal lives was far more complex, wrapped in secrets that continue to intrigue us. What truly happened behind the scenes? Could their stories hold more than we've ever known? Their untimely deaths marked the end of an era, yet the unanswered questions surrounding them only deepen the mystery. What hidden truths remain even now? The answers may surprise you, and we'll uncover it all in the next part of this video. Stay tuned. Mark Bloom. In the 1986 adventure comedy Crocodile Dundee, Mark Bloom played the role of Richard Mason, a newspaper editor opposite Linda Kozlowski's Sue Charlton. Mark's story began on May 14, 1950, in Newark, New Jersey, where he grew up in a middle-class Jewish family. Acting wasn't part of his childhood dreams, but everything changed when he attended the University of Pennsylvania. There, he discovered his love for theater, a passion that flourished as he refined his craft at the Guthrie Theater in Minnesota, paving the way for his future in acting. Bloom's early years in the industry were far from glamorous. His Broadway debut in The Merchant in 1977 marked the beginning of a long journey, but fame didn't come overnight. He worked tirelessly in off-Broadway productions such as Say Goodnight, Gracie, and table settings while making ends meet as a waiter. Little did he know, his time waiting tables would also hone his ability to connect with people, a skill he later brought to his performances. His breakthrough came in 1985 when he starred alongside Madonna in Desperately Seeking Susan. His portrayal of Gary Glass highlighted his comedic talents, turning him into a recognizable face. The following year, his role in Crocodile Dundee solidified his status in Hollywood. Yet, Bloom remained grounded, focusing on the art of acting rather than the trappings of fame. Bloom often described acting as a constant journey of growth, saying, "The point of being an artist is that you have to keep changing and doing new things." For him, success wasn't about the paycheck, but about embracing challenges and evolving. He remained committed to theater, balancing a flourishing Hollywood career with his deep-rooted love for the stage. At the height of his career, Bloom mastered the art of balancing screen and stage work. On Broadway, he earned acclaim in productions like Lost in Yonkers and The Best Man, delivering emotionally resonant performances. His work in Gus and Al earned him an Obie Award, while television roles in Mozart in the Jungle and Netflix's You showcased his versatility. Despite his successes, Bloom's path wasn't without its struggles. Unlike the headline-grabbing scandals that often plague Hollywood stars, his challenges were quieter but equally profound. The New York theater scene, known for its fierce competition, required relentless determination, and Bloom worked hard to make his mark. He faced years of uncertainty, battling to secure consistent roles in a highly competitive field. Yet his unwavering passion for acting kept him going. Bloom knew that not every role would bring fame, but he valued each one as an opportunity to grow. He approached his craft with humility, finding fulfillment in the work itself rather than the accolades. This grounded approach allowed him to navigate the pressures of the industry with grace, staying true to his love for storytelling. Colleagues and friends often spoke of Bloom's warmth, generosity, and humility. Known for mentoring younger actors, he shared his wisdom with patience and kindness. Beyond his performances, he was deeply involved in advocating for actors' rights, serving on SAG-AFTRA boards, and contributing to the community he loved. Mark Bloom's death on March 25, 2020, at the age of 69, shocked the entertainment world. He had been in good health before his hospitalization, and no one anticipated the sudden turn of events. His passing, one of the first high-profile losses in Hollywood linked to COVID-19, highlighted the devastating impact of the pandemic. Before being hospitalized, Bloom exhibited symptoms typical of COVID-19, including fever, but the rapid progression of his condition left his loved ones stunned. Within days, he was gone, leaving a wave of grief among family, friends, and the theater community. Actress Rosanna Arquette, who worked with Bloom in Desperately Seeking Susan, called him a wonderful actor and kind man, a sentiment echoed by many who knew him. Bloom's passing left an indelible void, particularly in New York's theater scene, where he had become a beloved figure. Friends and colleagues remembered him as one of the industry's most compassionate and generous souls. Today, Mark Bloom is celebrated not just for his talent, but for the kindness, humility, and dedication that defined his life and career. David Gulpilil, known for playing Neville Bell, a city boy painted with tribal markings to meet his elder, lived a life that seamlessly wove two worlds together. Deeply rooted in his Yolngu heritage, yet shaped by the fame of his film career, his journey was nothing short of extraordinary. Born in 1953 in Arnhem Land, Northern Territory, Australia, Gulpilil was immersed in Aboriginal culture from the start. His exceptional skills as a dancer and deep knowledge of Yolngu traditions set him apart, but his life changed forever as a teenager when British director Nicholas Roeg discovered him. Cast in the 1971 film Walkabout, Gulpilil's name quickly became known worldwide. While Walkabout brought success, it also revealed the challenges Gulpilil faced as he navigated two vastly different worlds. He spoke openly of feeling torn between the champagne and caviar of Hollywood and the dirt of his dream time. This inner conflict between cultural roots and the Western world remained a recurring theme in his life. Gulpilil went on to star in iconic films such as Storm Boy, 1976, Crocodile Dundee, 1986, and Rabbit-Proof Fence, 2002. But his crowning moment came with Charlie's Country, 2014. His portrayal earned him Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival, a performance that drew from his personal struggles as an Indigenous man in modern Australia. Through his work, Gulpilil became a voice for Indigenous culture, using film to share the stories of his ancestors with audiences around the world. But beyond the screen, he faced battles that revealed the toll of living between two worlds, including addiction and homelessness. From a young age, Gulpilil dazzled audiences with his talent, living a life filled with incredible highs, dining with the Queen, meeting legends like John Lennon and Bob Marley. Yet few saw the price he paid for fame. The hard living lifestyle surrounding him led to struggles with alcohol and drug addiction. Fame offered no shield from life's challenges, and before long, he became one of the long grassers in Darwin, homeless and fighting his demons. The lowest point came when he faced prison time for assaulting his partner. During his time behind bars, Gulpilil described feeling like a shadow of his former self. It seemed his career and identity had slipped away. But in his darkest moment, filmmaker Rolf de Heer reached out, offering him a chance at redemption through Charlie's Country. This deeply personal project mirrored Gulpilil's struggles with addiction and identity, allowing him to turn his pain into art. More than a film, it was a cathartic expression of his inner battles. Directors who worked with Gulpilil, like Philip Noyce and Baz Luhrmann, were captivated by his raw talent and authenticity. They praised his ability to convey emotion and tell stories that deeply resonated. Still, they couldn't help but worry for the man behind the roles, the one battling addiction and struggling to find peace. Yet, through every challenge, Gulpilil remained resilient, his connection to his craft unshakable, even as his personal struggles played out before the world. Perhaps the most poignant part of his legacy lies in his reflections on identity. Gulpilil often spoke about the tension between his Aboriginal heritage and the Western world of cinema. This conflict became a central theme in his performances and was documented in the film My Name is Gulpilil. Through this documentary, he shared the complexities of his life, his triumphs and setbacks, and gave audiences an intimate look at his personal journey. David Gulpilil's remarkable life ended on November 29, 2021, when he passed away at 68 after a long, painful battle with lung cancer. Even after being diagnosed with cancer in 2017, Gulpilil refused to let it define him. He poured everything he had into his final project, My Name is Gulpilil, a reflective and deeply personal film. Despite his frail health, he attended its 2021 premiere, where the audience gave him a standing ovation, a heartfelt tribute to the legend he had become. In his final months, his body grew weaker, but his spirit remained strong. Family members recalled his pride in his culture and heritage, even as the cancer took its toll. Gulpilil faced his death with the same resilience and strength that defined his life. When he passed, the loss was felt far beyond his family and friends. Across Australia, especially within the Indigenous community, people mourned the loss of a symbol of pride and strength. John Millen. John Millen, best remembered as Walter Riley in Crocodile Dundee, began his lifelong passion for acting at an early age, stepping onto the stage with a natural flair for storytelling. Born in Mosman, Sydney on May 1, 1934, his talent was evident from childhood. By age 11, Millen had already made his radio debut with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Stumpy, a role that hinted at his future in entertainment. Just a year later, he was performing on stage, showing a budding brilliance. However, it wasn't until he joined the Shakespeare Touring Company at age 16 that his potential truly blossomed, starring in classics such as King Lear and The Merchant of Venice. In 1959, Millen took a bold leap, leaving Australia to pursue opportunities in England. During this pivotal chapter, he worked tirelessly in film and theater, building his reputation with standout roles in films like Billy Budd, 1962, and Guns at Batasi, 1964. By the late 60s, his hard work and perseverance paid off, and he returned to Australia as a recognized name. Throughout the 1970s, Millen carved a niche in television, starring as Wally Stiller in the beloved comedy series My Name's Magooly, What's Yours? But it was his role as Walter Riley in Crocodile Dundee, 1986, that launched him to international stardom. His portrayal of the witty and warm-hearted Wally endeared him to audiences worldwide. While Hollywood tempted him, Millen preferred the authenticity of Australian cinema, famously stating, "Acting is a craft that evolves with every performance." His grounded approach earned admiration from peers and fans alike. Millen's humility extended beyond his fame as he carefully selected roles that aligned with his values. His crowning achievement came with the Australian Film Institute Award for The Fourth Wish, 1977. Additionally, his voice became iconic through Victoria Bitter Beer commercials, leaving an indelible mark on Australian pop culture. However, behind his professional success was a quiet and painful struggle that few fully understood. Millen's battle with alcoholism began subtly, often unnoticed by those around him. He later admitted that he drank out of boredom, though the habit soon escalated into a crippling addiction. While some colleagues noticed the signs, Millen rarely discussed his struggles openly. Still, cracks in his facade appeared over time. As his health began to decline, the spark he once found in acting dimmed. Despite his personal battles, he maintained a remarkable ability to deliver unforgettable performances, a testament to his enduring dedication. What fans and colleagues recall most about Millen isn't just his extraordinary talent, but the humanity that came through in every role. Paul Hogan, his Crocodile Dundee co-star, once described him as a great actor and a great bloke, reflecting on his warmth and humor. Even with his struggles, Hogan noted Millen's professionalism and the unique bond they shared on screen. Together, they created magic, Even as Melon quietly shouldered immense personal challenges, not everyone saw him in the same light. Some colleagues grew frustrated with his withdrawal during difficult times, finding him hard to connect with. His moods could shift unpredictably, creating barriers in personal relationships. Yet, for others, his vulnerability only deepened their respect. They recognized his battle with alcohol as part of a larger internal struggle, one that shaped the complex and sensitive man he was. Through it all, Melon remained committed to his craft, acting not for fame, but out of a genuine love for storytelling. Even during his darkest days, he poured his soul into his work. Those who worked closely with him admired the authenticity he brought to his roles, knowing the depth of emotion behind his performances. Melon's life came to a quiet end on August 10, 1989, leaving behind a legacy of brilliance overshadowed by struggle. At just 55, he succumbed to cirrhosis of the liver, a battle he had fought for years. For those closest to him, including his wife Bunny and their family, his decline was heartbreaking. They watched him grow frail and weary, the light in his eyes fading as his health deteriorated. In his final days, the pain Melon endured was immense. Cirrhosis brought relentless discomfort, abdominal pain, fatigue, and difficulty breathing. Though he had battled the illness for some time, his death came as a shock to fans who admired his work. For a man who gave so much to Australian cinema, his passing marked the end of an era. Tributes flooded the media, honoring Melon's contributions to film and television. Paul Hogan remembered him as a great actor and a great bloke, a sentiment echoed by his grieving family, who saw him as a loving husband, father, and a true legend. Yet, to many, his death felt like a preventable tragedy, another life lost to the demons he could not overcome. Terry Gill, who played Duffy in Crocodile Dundee, lived a life as colorful and unpredictable as the films he appeared in. Born on October 25, 1939, in England, Terry didn't initially set out for a career on stage. But after moving to Australia in the 1960s with his wife, Carol Ann, he embraced the world of theater and television. Together, the couple created, directed, and performed in their own theater restaurants, such as Bull and Bush and the Naughty 90s. It was in these lively venues that Terry discovered his true calling, pouring his heart into countless productions. Terry's acting career began to soar when he took on law enforcement roles in Australian TV series like Matlock Police and Homicide. Over the years, he became a familiar face, appearing in more than 26 television shows, including The Flying Doctors, Blue Heelers, and Prisoner. His film credits included roles in Crocodile Dundee and Far Lap. Yet, his passion wasn't confined to TV and film. He had a deep love for children's theater, dedicating decades to producing pantomimes and mentoring young talent in Melbourne. Even when financial struggles led to the closure of his theater, Terry and Carol Ann pressed on, performing wherever they could. Their resilience and unwavering love for the arts inspired all who worked with them. Reflecting on his career, Terry often spoke about the emotional fulfillment of working in theater. You have to love what you do, especially in theater, where the rewards often aren't financial, but emotional, he once shared. And love it he did. His passion and versatility earned him a special place in the hearts of Australians, cementing his reputation as a beloved character actor. As a former member of Monty Python, Gilliam became famous for creating some of the most imaginative and eccentric films. However, his outspoken nature often landed him in hot water. One of his most controversial moments came when he criticized the Me Too movement, calling it a witch hunt and comparing it to mob rule. He even suggested that some women used their experiences with Harvey Weinstein to advance their careers, sparking widespread outrage. Co-stars like Ellen Barkin publicly condemned him, with Barkin even warning others about working with him. Gilliam's controversies didn't stop there. He made headlines again with remarks about race, referring to himself as a melanin light male, and dismissing the focus on race and gender issues. Many felt his comments were insensitive and ignored the real struggles faced by marginalized groups. Despite the backlash, Gilliam stood firm, insisting that artists should speak their minds, even if it means challenging popular opinion. His later years have not been without challenges. The making of The Man Who Killed Don Quixote was fraught with delays, financial setbacks, and health issues, but Gilliam remained determined. Through it all, his commitment to his craft and his distinct outlook on life and art never wavered. A peculiar rumor about Gilliam's death once circulated, causing confusion among fans. In his signature witty style, he addressed the mix-up with humor, stating, "I apologize for being dead," and reassured everyone that the reports were false. As of now, Terry Gilliam hasn't faced any major health concerns. His life remains dedicated to creative projects and his work in the film industry. Known for his bold opinions and outspoken personality, Gilliam continues to be a larger-than-life figure, leaving a lasting impression on the entertainment world with his unique perspective and fearless approach to storytelling. Reflecting on the lives of the Crocodile Dundee cast brings back memories of the joy they brought to the screen and the uniqueness of their journeys. Each cast member left behind a story, a legacy, and cherished memories that fans hold dear. Though they are no longer with us, their contributions continue to bring laughter and a sense of connection. It's a heartfelt way to celebrate their lives and appreciate the happiness they shared with us through their unforgettable roles.